Last year, I made a video asking the question, is it possible to find a man using only a photograph of his face? And just before 2020 ended, you guys answered that question. Before we tell this story, it's very clear that a lot of you who watch these videos love solving these mysteries yourself, like a detective. So, I've reached out to the company known as Hunter Killer to sponsor this video. Hunter Killer is a subscription game that sends you a monthly box set to your address featuring realistic police reports, maps, letters, and even sends you to websites that help you uncover a fictional murder case. Since a lot of people are stuck at home right now, this is the perfect game to help kill some time and play with your friends online. Or, if you want, you can solve the whole thing yourself. The game is designed to play it however you want. Each case has 6 boxes which get shipped one at a time over the course of 6 months. But if you don't want to wait a month for the next package, you can instantly ship the next one at any time. I've had so much fun playing the latest story they've released, known as Curtain Call, which is about a New York theater discovering the dead body of actress Viola Vane, who went missing 80 years ago. If you go to hunterkiller.com/insideamind, you can get 20% off your first box by using the promo code insideamind. Again, make sure you use code insideamind for 20% off. I first heard about Perplexity from the YouTuber Austin McConnell. Within the video, he describes an elaborate scavenger hunt that took place in the UK.
In April of 2005, a London-based game company by the name of Mind Candy began a long-term alternate reality game that mixed brain teasers and trading cards into a product unlike any other. Perplexity was the hide-and-seek.
But what stood out to me was obviously the reason he made this video to begin with. A puzzle card that featured a photo of a man's face, Japanese text on the left translating to, "Find me."
The only real information anyone gained since the beginning of the search? His name is Satoshi. Probably.
This was made along with 255 other puzzle cards for Perplexity. All that could be solved were solved between 2006 to 2010. All but one, of course. The Find Me card, otherwise known as 1,000,000,000-1.
The 1,000,000,000-1 card is, to me, the greatest hide-and-seek game that everyone has quit playing. So, dear viewer, I have a call to action for you. See this guy? Find him. Thousands of people over the course of many years have tried, believe me. They've all given up. But why call it quits before the mystery is solved? It's a worldwide game of hide-and-seek. We've been counting for over a decade. Ready or not, Satoshi, here we come.
The video didn't yield too many results in the search for Satoshi, but it did bring a long-lost mystery back into the spotlight for a brief period of time, along with planting the story into the back of the minds of newcomers who'd never heard of it before. A year later in 2018, a podcast emerged from Asher Isbrucker titled The Unfinished Search for a Man Named Satoshi.
So Adrian started hiring this whole team of game designers.
I remember to sort of find interesting people, we put an advert in the newspaper, and it was just in code. I mean, the whole thing, the whole advert was just in code. There was no, there was no like, call us at this number or email us at this number. It was all in code. And everyone got really excited about it because they thought it was like an advert from MI5 or something.
And with these new, probably slightly disappointed MI5 hopefuls, they got to work on these 256 puzzle cards.
Within the podcast, they interviewed one of the creators for Perplexity, Andrew Hun, and discussed the puzzle card 1,000,000,000-1.
So, could you tell me the story behind that card?
Well, so I didn't think I was the one who came up with this idea, although I think I was around when we talked about it, and we thought, what would it be like if we just took a photo of someone and you had to go and find him? And this guy was called Satoshi. And if you found him, then I think you would solve it. I can't remember what was meant to happen when you found him, but something probably.
But just before they got on to Andrew, there was a previous guest at the beginning of the podcast. She was called Laura E. Hall.
Laura's had a lifelong interest in solving mysteries and puzzles. That's what got her interested in Find Satoshi.
And my whole life, I have never been able to get enough of that sort of stuff.
She's been looking for Satoshi for a long time now.
2006, I want to say, 10 years ago. I honestly did think that it was going to be a lot faster. I mean, here we are 10 years later or however long, and it has not been solved. I was pretty confident at the time, though, that it was going to be possible. Because of course, I had all the time in the world as a student to sort of mess around with that stuff.
Laura had put together her own website for the hunt back in 2006, findsatoshi.com. It featured all the information you could use to help find this man.
I would love for it to be done. I mean, there's a lot of factors that would make it actually, in my mind, possible, right? Like if he lives in an English-speaking country, then it would be possible for me personally to keep working on it and to find him. Yeah, I will not give up hope. I mean, just as, as time has passed, I've gotten really busy, and it's difficult to get re-engaged in it just because it takes so much time.
Well, this is just one of those things that needs closure,
Yeah.
There's got to be closure. And the longer,
I would love that.
And the longer it goes on, it's on 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
Ish. The longer it goes on, the more satisfying that closure will be, right?
Yes.
It was pretty inspiring how dedicated Laura had been to this search, and it got me thinking, would it actually be possible to reignite this story? Could we actually get people searching for a man that was not found for the past 14 years? After a year of pushing the topic to the back of the queue, I finally made a decision on how I wanted to approach it. I reached out to Laura herself to see if she'd be interested in covering the topic with me. Then I made the title and first few seconds of the video abundantly clear what I wanted to do. I asked the audience, can they find this man?
I'm Laura E. Hall. I was a big player of Perplexity when it was running. I was really into Billion to One, the card for finding somebody by only using their name and picture.
While interviewing Laura, one of the most fascinating things I learned during this interview that I didn't include in the original video was that Laura was married to the guy who made the puzzle card.
And it's not part of the game. The game doesn't exist anymore. There's no way to verify it, except that I actually ended up marrying somebody who used to work on that game, and he does know the answer. So I can get it verified. I have explicitly said to never ever tell me, and to be as vague as possible, because I'll share. Oh, somebody's emailed me and they said they used to work at this ice cream shop in LA with this person. That's a real tip that I got. And so he never says anything. He won't say anything by my request until we actually know the real answer. So
after uploading the video to YouTube, it seemed to get the reaction I was hoping for. Several people felt up to the task in searching for this mysterious man. Several Twitter accounts appeared, a Discord was made, and even a subreddit for any clues that could lead to Satoshi. But as the months went on, not much luck was coming to the surface. The video was still gaining traction. Every so often, new people would join the search before eventually moving on to other things. Then, a couple of theories started to arise that maybe the individual wasn't even real to begin with, and it was a computer-generated image that the company had lied about when claiming it could be solved. They had made an unsolvable puzzle card before, the Riemann hypothesis, so it was suggested they faked this card too, except this time, they just didn't tell you it couldn't be solved. Despite many pieces of evidence heavily pointing in the opposite direction, theories like that were becoming more and more prominent. That is, until a specific Reddit user decided to join the search.
Yes, my name is Tom Lukas Seger. I'm from Hamburg, Germany. Most people in this story know me by my username Tommy, I don't know how to pronounce it because I never had to say it out loud until now. And I'm a student, a design student, currently looking into artificial intelligence and design. So I think it was in the beginning of the corona pandemic that I stumbled upon your video, and yes, it was really interesting to me that there are still some unresolved mysteries, and I also like the idea of this whole Perplexity card game.
So you obviously discovered it at some point, but then you obviously, for quite a long period of time, you didn't actually look into it yourself, correct?
Yeah.
When was it where you decided to actually start investigating yourself?
Yes, so I was at my parents' house for the holidays, or for Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. It's what we are celebrating here in Germany, and we talked about an interesting story. My sister sent out a message in a bottle in maybe 20 years ago. And on that day of her birthday, which is the 21st of December, she got a message back. And so we were in this mystery thing, things are happening, and the Satoshi thing popped up in my head again. And I told them about it, and I'm always telling interesting, funny, crazy stories, so I don't think they always pay 100% attention.
After speaking with his family about the mystery, he searched it up to see if people were still looking for the man, and that's when he discovered the subreddit. After realizing the subreddit was still active, he decided to look into it himself.
As I mentioned, I'm doing a research project on design and AI, and I'm looking into everything AI that is popping up at the moment. And I found a search engine, so a facial search engine that came from Poland, I think, and it was so powerful that people could upload faces, and they would it would find every instance of this face in a lot of images around the web. And it was so powerful in the beginning that they disallowed or disabled the functionality to upload a picture, so you could only take a picture from yourself. And I thought maybe I can give it a try with a Satoshi picture. I would print it out and hold it inside the camera and trick the system. But I didn't find this exact thing. So the next best thing was PIM eyes, because I just Googled facial recognition, reverse image search, something like this. And this was the first one, and I thought I just give it a try. And on PIM eyes it's pretty easy. You just upload a picture, and it shows you results, how where it finds pictures that are similar to the face. So this is the main difference. It is not like Google image search, where you just put in the picture and it shows you where on the internet the same picture is found. It really scans the face and extracts the facial features and searches for those on the internet. So I did a quick a test with my own face, and it found a lot of pictures of stuff I did online where my face was. So I thought, okay, it's working really similar to this Polish version that I found earlier. And yes, so I took the picture of Satoshi. In this version, you can just upload a picture, so you don't have to trick the machine. You just upload the picture. And I think there were the first 3 results were the exact same picture from around the web. And the 4th picture was the other picture that then cracked the case.
According to Google Trends, PIM eyes started to gain popularity in 2020, and while it's still not as strong as the other software, it still did exactly what he wanted.
So first up, I thought it's not him, so it's just a picture of a man, and there were also more results, but the further you go down, the more unprecise they get. So I thought, okay, it's just a picture. I'm gonna just zoom in and check out some things, because in the video that you did, Laura said that there are some things that are not changing in a face of a person.
Something that is very identifiable for people's photographs throughout their lifetimes is the
nose and the ears. And so I looked closer, and the ears and the nose were really similar. So I thought, okay, maybe I can post it into the subreddit, because I just wanted to start a conversation there and help them. And so I uploaded it. And in the first version, I wasn't really sure myself. So I just uploaded it to discuss it with the other people.
After posting it to the subreddit, more and more pieces started to fit this unsolved puzzle.
I think in the beginning, the post didn't get many upvotes. I think it got some downvotes as well, because no one was believing that it could be him. And then one of the first findings I got on the website was that one of the executives was called Satoshi. But as Laura mentions in her video, Satoshi is a really common name, and it could be anyone. So we don't have the connection between the picture and this name. It was just, there was a list of the executives, and he was one of them. Then some people looked into the website. I did also look into the website and found some more pictures. Golf Alpha Mike Echo. He found a picture of a guy with a starting bib from a marathon, and we could find out which marathon that was, or half marathon. And I typed in the starting number and got back the name in Japanese, and then I put it into Google Translate, and it translated to Satoshi. And I think I really got goosebumps and shivers and everything, because now we not only knew that he looked really similar, but the same person is called Satoshi. And so I think this was, if it was wrong, then it was the closest we could have gotten. So I thought I'm onto something, or we are onto something, because the whole Reddit was helping out as well, and I posted it. And then some other pictures came up, because we then had the Japanese version of the name and could search for the Japanese version of the name, and we found pictures there. The resemblance was just, it was 100% the same person, and we only had to contact him now. We know that we got him.
Eventually, he got into contact with Laura about the possible lead. She sent 2 emails to this Satoshi, one in English and another in Japanese. Eventually, they got a response confirming he was our Satoshi. After receiving the news, Laura posted to Twitter with Andrew Hong congratulating her, along with her husband Jay giving us some behind-the-scenes exclusives on what they had originally planned for the 1,000,000,000 card. He even told us that there was supposed to be a secret passphrase Satoshi would say to you had you found him in person. It's incredible to think that all it took to solve this mystery was waiting for technology to catch up with what we were asking of it. It really makes you think, how many other mysteries out there will come to a conclusion in the next few years due to technology just finally becoming advanced enough to solve it? While it's exciting at the thought, it also leaves you with a feeling of unease. It's very important that puzzles like these show us exactly what our systems are capable of. I think we sometimes forget how fast technology really is evolving around us. We are now in a world where we can find someone based on nothing but a photo of their face. We can place it on someone else. We can even recreate their voice. It's only a matter of time before humans and artificial intelligence becomes interchangeable. Are you afraid? You should be. The voice you are hearing right now is created entirely from an AI. And if you're not impressed by how well it captures my voice from only giving it 30 minutes worth of a recording, keep in mind this is only technology that's available today. Imagine what we will have in only a year's time. It's scary to think how fast we are advancing. Maybe this is a rabbit hole we shall explore in the near future. Take this as a victory for now, but keep this story in mind when you're next posting a picture of yourself online. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.